different types of committees.
Absolutely. Knowing the difference between different committees and their roles is crucial for demonstrating a strong grasp of that Indian political system.
This has been a really enlightening deep dive. We've covered a lot. The types of parliamentary committees, the functions, the rules, the procedures that govern them, even the challenges they face and potential areas for reform.
Yeah. We've also highlighted, how important all this is for UPSC aspirants.
Right.
Emphasizing how important it is to understand these mechanisms for anyone who wants to work in the Indian civil services.
Exactly. Whether you're aiming for the IAS, the IFS, or any other prestigious service, a deep understanding of how the parliament works and these committees' role is absolutely essential.
Right. It really equips those aspiring civil servants to navigate the complexities of policymaking, to contribute meaningfully to governance, and ultimately to make a positive impact on citizens' lives.
Well said. And I think we've really demystified this whole world of parliamentary committees, showcasing that vital role they play in India's democracy.
Yeah, and hopefully we've also sparked some curiosity in our listeners to learn even more about this subject.
I have no doubt about it. And who knows, maybe some of our listeners will go on to become, experts on parliamentary committees themselves.
Yeah.
Contributing to scholarship and debate around these really important institutions.
That would be great. A thriving democracy depends on an informed and engaged citizenry, right?
Absolutely.
And understanding how these institutions work is a crucial step in that direction.
Speaking of engaging with these institutions, let's turn to a thought-provoking question. Considering, the huge and always evolving challenges that India faces today, what kind of new parliamentary committee do you think should be created to address a really pressing issue that isn't being, adequately covered right now?
That's a really interesting question. It makes us, think critically about how the committees are structured now and where those gaps are, where a new committee could make a real difference.
I'm really eager to hear your thoughts. But first, let's take a short break. We'll be back soon to explore this question and wrap up our deep dive into the fascinating world of parliamentary committees. Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we were just about to dig into a really interesting question. What kind of new parliamentary committee could be created to deal with a pressing issue India is facing today? I'm really curious to hear what you think about this.
Yeah, there are a lot of areas where a new committee could be really helpful. We could think about AI, for instance, all the advances in artificial intelligence. A dedicated committee could, look into the ethics, the impact on jobs, and how to regulate it all responsibly.
That's a great one. AI is impacting so much of our lives, and it's changing so fast. Having a committee just for that seems pretty essential.
It really does. Or climate change, right? It's a global crisis. But India's feeling the effects really strongly. A committee specifically for climate change, could help different ministries work together, come up with strategies, and make sure India's, taking a lead role in those international discussions.
That's another critical area where a focus committee could really, really make a difference. And it's a perfect example of how these committees can take something happening in India and connect it to what's going on globally.
Exactly. And the possibilities, they're kind of endless when you look at how complex India's challenges are today. Cybersecurity, healthcare, education. There's always going to be a need for, groups that are informed and dedicated to look into this stuff and give guidance to Parliament.
For sure. And I think this is a really relevant exercise for anyone studying for the UPSC, too. It pushes them to think beyond just the facts and figures and really engage with real world stuff that they might have to deal with as civil servants.
Yeah, I agree. To analyze those problems, find the gaps in the system, and come up with new solutions, that's essential for anyone who wants to work in the Indian government.
Absolutely. I think we've covered a lot in this deep dive.
Yeah.
Demystified this whole world of parliamentary committees, shown how crucial they are to India's democracy, and even looked ahead at what might be coming.
We've also talked about why all this matters for UPSC folks, giving them, the knowledge they need to do well on the exams and get ready for those careers in public service.
Exactly. Understanding the different types of committees, what they do, what their strengths are, their weaknesses. We've given everyone listening a really thorough understanding of this part of Indian government, a part that people often overlook.
Yeah, and hopefully we've inspired people to keep learning about this. A democracy only thrives if its citizens are informed and engaged and understanding how the government works. Well, that's a huge step.
You're absolutely right. I want to thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the world of parliamentary committees. Your expertise has been amazing.
The pleasure was mine. I always love sharing this knowledge.